In nature, mind control doesn't mean a parasite pilots every move. It usually means something colder and more measurable, a small biological bias that pushes a host toward danger at the exact moment the parasite needs it. Fear can weaken, attraction can flip, daily timing can shift, and escape can slow down. The result looks like a puppet show, but the strings are chemistry, nerves, and evolution. Parasites don't need intelligence to manipulate behavior. If a parasite variant makes a host act in a way that improves transmission, that variant spreads. Over many generations, the host's behavior becomes part of the parasite's phenotype, an extended expression of parasite genes through the host's nervous system. It's selection writing a script, not a parasite thinking. Across the best cases, manipulation usually falls into a few buckets. 1. Sensory bias, what the host notices or avoids. 2. Motivation bias, fear, hunger, escape drive. 3. Motor bias, movement strength and coordination. And 4. Timing bias, circadian rhythm and temperature-triggered routines. Parasites rarely need full control. They just need leverage in one critical circuit. A microscopic parasite associated with cats has been studied for decades because its life cycle benefits when infected prey gets eaten by a cat. In controlled rodent studies, infection has been linked with altered responses to predator cues, including reduced avoidance in some setups. The strength of the effect can vary, and mechanisms are still debated, but the scientific interest is clear. A parasite connected to brain and immune pathways can correlate with measurable risk behavior changes. A parasite doesn't need to turn a host into a zombie. If a rodent hesitates longer, explores a little farther, or fails to freeze at the right second, predation risk changes. Behavior is a threshold system. Move the threshold slightly. Fear, curiosity, escape, and the outcome can flip. That's why parasites can win with minimal intervention. Some insect-infecting fungi drive hosts into a repeatable end sequence, leaving the normal habitat, climbing vegetation, and locking onto a plant structure before death. After that, the fungus uses the elevated position as a spore launch platform. The haunting part is the reliability. The behavior fits the fungus's needs so well, it looks choreographed. Yet, it can emerge from tissue invasion, chemical signals, and selection. Many of these fungi do not need to control thoughts. They can alter muscle function, disrupt normal day-night activity, and push hosts toward the right microclimate, humidity, and temperature, where fungal growth and spore spread are optimal. Precision can come from biology plus environment. The host becomes a moving sensor that walks into the conditions the parasite requires. Hairworms develop inside insects, but reproduce in water. In several systems, infected hosts show an unnatural shift. They approach water and may enter it, which is normally fatal. After the host reaches water, the worm emerges and continues its life cycle. This is one of the cleanest life cycle matches behavior stories. The parasite needs water, so the host suddenly behaves like water is a magnet. Some flukes use ants as an intermediate host on the way to grazing mammals. Infected ants can show a striking routine. During cooler conditions, they climb grass and clamp down with their jaws, increasing the chance a herbivore eats them. When it warms up, they may release and behave more normally, then repeat. That time lock makes it feel intelligent, but it may be a biological switch tuned to temperature and transmission opportunity. In aquatic food webs, some parasites need a predator as the next host. Infected amphipods can become less likely to hide and more likely to drift into visible zones, increasing predation. The control can be as simple as altered phototaxis and reduced escape response. Again, It's not total takeover, just pushing the host into the open. One of the most visually shocking manipulations involves parasites that make a snail's eye stalk swollen and conspicuous, increasing the chance a bird pecks and completes the parasite's life cycle. It's not gore, it's a biological billboard. The parasite turns the host into a signal. Eat this. It's a reminder that manipulation can target appearance and predator attention, not only the brain. A famous parasitoid strategy involves a wasp that disables a cockroach's normal escape motivation while leaving it alive and able to walk. The roach becomes unusually compliant and is used as a living food source for the wasp's larva. This is a key lesson. Mind control can be a targeted motivation edit, not paralysis, not hypnosis, but a reduction in the drive to flee. Many parasitoid wasps don't just lay eggs. They chemically suppress host immunity and change host movement patterns to protect developing larvae. Sometimes the host becomes sluggish. Sometimes it performs guarding behaviors near the parasite stage. It's a combination of physiology and behavior bias, enough to keep the nursery safe until the parasite is ready to emerge. Behavior hijacking isn't limited to worms and fungi. Rabies is transmitted through saliva and bites, and the disease can produce agitation, abnormal aggression, and swallowing difficulty, symptoms that increase biting and saliva spread. The strategy isn't conscious, but the pattern fits the transmission route in a brutally direct way. The strongest evidence comes from controlled comparisons. Infected versus uninfected hosts tested in the same conditions. Repeatable behavior shifts, clear benefits to parasite transmission, and mechanisms measured through neurochemistry, immune markers, or targeted tissue effects. In other words, scientists don't accept creepy stories. They demand patterns, controls, and a life cycle reason. Parasites don't need minds to rewrite behavior. They need leverage. One circuit, one timing switch, one sensory bias, and evolution does the rest. Some cases are so repeatable they feel supernatural, but the explanation is biological and testable. If you had to choose the most unsettling mechanism, fear bias, timing control, or escape suppression, subscribe to World of Mysteries.